I tell you something I know you have interest in, Robert, and we'll move on to that, is President Obama. We've talked many times about President Obama, and he kind of had a rough week last week. Um, Things are not working well between the Congress and he. Kind of a two-part question here, Robert. What do you make of Obama's performance until now? Let's just start there. What do you make of his performance in the first term?
In the first term,
Yes.
I think he did an admirable job. And I think as time went on, uh, the prejudices of the people, as exhibited in the Congress, started to get to them. And they kind of tried to get familiar with it. And their prejudice about black people started to emerge. And it got more and more heated. But I think Obama himself, I think we have to thank God that we have such a cool, calm, and collected man in the White House. I don't think many people could take what they've given him.
Robert, when you ask people, if you went to the congressmen or the people in general who don't like him, or say they don't like him or don't agree with him, they will tell you it's not prejudice, they're not prejudice. You seem to feel it could be that. Why do they not realize or not want to admit to it?
Well, because it's embarrassing. This is 2013, and to hold that kind of 1861 prejudice is difficult, and they get caught at it all the time. But they don't know how to comport themselves when talking to a black president. They never expected one to show up in their lifetime, but there it is. But I don't think they're prepared for it at all.
Robert, when you look back, you've lived the great 20th century that we just left a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
During the days of Martin Luther King Jr. and during the days of Lyndon Johnson signing the Civil Rights Act and separate but equal and things of that nature, riots and Malcolm X and everything that went on, it kind of went on the back burner as we went into the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and then here comes the first African American president, and did that racism rear its head again in your opinion?
Oh yes, very definitely. I think that it was inevitable that it would be that way. Furthermore, I don't understand whatever happened to the agenda that we all quietly kind of wanted and expected America to pursue. We were supposed to get over certain quirks in our personality. And I think we got rid of some of the most egregious ones, perhaps. But then people, I don't know, as I said before, they started to get comfortable with a black president, and they said a lot of things that were in the back of their mind that they would not have said prior to his coming on the scene.
When Robert Guillaume, the man who portrayed this character, hears things like the birth certificate bit, how does that make you feel as a person?
Well, it makes me sad in a way that we have not come any further in this whole black-white issue. And we act as if there are no other people in the universe except black and white. There are all kinds of people. And I'm really sorry that we making a fool of ourselves, fools of ourselves, in the eyes of the rest of the world. Because I think the other people in the world, let us say Europeans even, I think they progressed farther than Americans have in this whole idea of black and white.
I think you're right, and I hope we get there soon.
I do too.